Worry is an intriguing experience. It's a very distinctly human thing to do, though it happens in the animal kingdom with many different life forms. There's forms of worrying, like a dog worrying a bone, which is kind of where the term came from. Just so intently focused on the bone, you're chewing on it, and the bone. The dog's just so into it. It needs to know like what's inside of the bone. It's just worrying the bone. We do it in the emotional thinking sense of worrying, that plague on humanity, and that part is a very distinctly human thing to do. Like animals don't worry in that capacity. They don't worry about what's coming next. They don't have fear into the future. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, and they get all worked up. They may show, concern or something like that, or alarm, or, a dog may learn to kind of mimic a human's concern of like, they have that, but it's not necessarily a worrying. That's an immediate threat situation. I have concern. I'm on my guard. What's going on here? When it goes into worrying of the mind specifically is when it's that milling about. Oh, will I be okay? Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, what did they mean by that? Oh, did I say the right thing? And all that milling about. And if you notice worry, if you really just kind of step back, you'll realize that worry is just kind of a bunch of old feelings. It's a bunch of fears. It's a bunch of things that you think maybe aren't going to go right because of something else. And it's very similar to anxiety. It's almost a low-grade anxiety if you were, looking at the human condition, kind of thing. And here's like just humanity in like kind of peaceful, zen-y space. Here it goes up a level and it's like getting into kind of worried, and then anxiety, and then up in paranoia, things like that. And it's kind of a range of the spectrum. So if you feel yourself as someone who worries, maybe you're also someone who suffers with anxiety. It's right along the same range. So with worry and things like this, and this would actually be a great practice for anybody who wants to move out of anxiety and wants to move out of an anxious way of being, anytime you find yourself worrying about something, what will be, you have to understand that that's something in the future. That's an anxiety. That's a low-grade anxiety that's pushing up all of the feelings of anxiety. So what happens is we worry about something. Oh, what's going to happen? And then because we're worrying about it kind of on this subconscious level, just kind of letting it be about us, our body triggers the neural reception to prepare for the future. So if we're worried about the future, then our body goes, all right, get ready, motherfucker, and you're like ready to fight. And you're worried about the future, and then all of a sudden you feel this tension of anxiety in your body. And it can go from there if you let it keep going and keep going. Most people are going to catch it at maybe the anxiety. I feel anxious, I need to do something about this, if they're present and aware with their human condition. But you can catch it at that low kind of worry phase. Oh, what's this milling about? And truly worry is just a discipline of mind. It is a thing of the human condition. Animals don't do it. They don't have that frontal lobe. They don't have the worry about the future. They are in perfect faith. They are in perfect flow. They are in perfect manifestation of the things they need. They know that they will have a place to lay their head, and the place to lay their head is there. It's just how animals do it. It's how nature does it. We humans, have this condition called humanity, of the ego, of the frontal lobe, of thinking that we know what's best. So it takes us into saying, okay, everything's got to be this way to make it work, and anything outside of this way I'm going to worry about, That's not safe for me. That's not okay. So that's just part of that human condition. That's part of it. Oh, I'm going to worry about this. Oh, that's my ego. That's me not having faith in this moment. Oh, I'm worrying about this thing. Oh, that's me not trusting the process. That is my human condition. There I go worrying again. Of course I would do that. Nothing else in nature does that. That's just me. That's an element of ego, an element of non-faith. So worry, being that lovely human condition, is something that you can very much kind of walk out of, and you can reprogram from things like worrying. And very often the worries are based in some fear of the past, or I should say always, based in some conditioning of the past. So if you find yourself in a state of worried often, or if you find yourself in a state of getting up into higher and anxious often, just know that all of that is simply from your mental emotional state and how you feel right now in this moment based on past conditioning. If any of you would like help working through those things, this is exactly what I do for work in emotional alchemy and guidance calls and things like that. There are also programs available on the website to walk yourself out of some of old traumas and dramas and wounds, and to live in a beautiful way, not in anxiety and in worry.